Yeah, we challenged them this week to go out and compete, and we talked about pride and who you are, and starting with you, and pride in your teammates, and then pride in the program, and representing yourself. And I think our guys were understandably upset by the way they played up in Oregon, and wanted to show our fans that that's not who they are. And Central Washington's a good football team. I think that I mentioned this the other night. I think the travel, the way people travel, and what you got to do if you fly commercial, it's really difficult to sit in a airport for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then get on a plane, then go sit in another airport. And I think that affected us the week before, and I think it affected them too. They struggled a little bit. They brought back their quarterback, Quincy Glasper, and he struggled at the beginning, throwing the first pick, and we took advantage of it. And what I was very excited about is we got the opening kickoff, we finished in the end zone, and then we got the pick, then we finished in the end zone. And I think that was big for us, a good spark to get us going, and that's something we needed. So.
You can't talk about that. I mean, 28-0 going into halftime, especially as DJ said this last week. What was the atmosphere like in the locker room, seeing those guys following a dominant first half?
You got to finish. We've struggled a little bit in second halves coming out, and we wanted to make sure we finished this game. We knew they had the firepower and that they weren't going to quit. And Coach Fisk does a great job with those kids, and they came out and they kept fighting, and they took a drive 7 minutes down the field and got a field goal. But I think part of it is we answered with a touchdown, and if we allow a team to kick field goal and we answer with a touchdown, I'll take that every time. But I think that picked us up and deflated them a little bit. But they kept fighting and they kept going, and we were able to get some young guys in at the end. Needed to get some playing time, so I was overall happy with the way we competed, and that's what we were looking to do. We got better, and at this time of year, that's what you want to do, is continue to get better.
So you got some young guys in there. You saw Shuba get that pick there.
Mm-hmm.
What's it like to see these young guys step in, especially with a completed defense, as you mentioned in weeks past?
We had two true freshman corners playing, signed Shuva, and then Quentin Evans played a little bit more this week. Ty Dillon's a sophomore, but he didn't really start last year, so he's gotten his first year starting. And the rest of the secondary, Freddie Simmons has stepped up. I think he's gotten a lot better since his injury has healed in the beginning of the year. But Sign's been solid the whole way through as a true freshman. He's been we knew what he was capable of doing, just didn't know what happened this fast. Been waiting on Quentin to come back from an injury, preseason injury, and in all honesty, those two guys, their attitude is just, it goes along with Ty as well. Their attitude is just like, bring it on. I'm ready for any challenge. I could care less. The three of them probably don't weigh 250 combined, but they're tough guys they're not scared to put their helmet in there, and very smart players as well. So that has helped us immensely back there.
You talk about that's really stepped up, especially with the injury of JT. It's Chris. We've always seen consistent.
Yeah.
Now there's a lot of that as well.
Yeah, I think those two guys have played together for 3 years now, and it took some adjusting to do for Chris. He was trying to do too much, and because he could rely on JT to help cover his back, and he could help cover JT's back, and now you got some new blood in there. And I think we've played Daniel Ajayi for the last 2 weeks, and I think Daniel he's made his freshman mistakes. Another true freshman, he's made his freshman mistakes, but he's gotten better, and he learns from everything, all the mistakes he's made. So I think Chris has really understood that now, that I don't have to worry about him. He's coming along, and Chris is a big part of that. Chris is helping him come along. So I think when you talk about you got youth in a lot of spots, but you've got some leadership there as well that continues to bring them up to the forefront.
We talked a little bit Saturday about how the week before it wasn't just Nick, it was a lot of people, but
Yeah.
he didn't have the performance that, he would like to have. For him to step up a little bit, 3 touchdowns in the first half, I mean, especially in his last year, I mean, how key is that?
Everybody that came out of that game in Oregon was hurt, was like mentally hurt, about they know they didn't play their best. We know as a group we didn't play our best. Offensively at the beginning of the game, and then they got us back to the chance to win, and defensively they didn't make the stop. And again, we challenged them to start fast, challenged them to compete right out of the box, challenged them to, get those stops, and we're able to do that. And for Nick to rebound from, you're the quarterback. I don't care if you're, Nick Gerber, Tom Brady, Dak Prescott, whatever. You're going to get all the glory or all the blame. Just because that's the position you play. And I think Nick responded very well to that, and we were able to get Caleb some reps too for down the line if something were to come on. And so that was good for us. But I think Nick responded the way Nick responds. And he's not a guy who's going to read the clippings and all the bad stuff, and he's not going to be a guy that reads the good stuff either. He's just going to be Nick and go about his business and do the best he can to lead this team.
Long road trip, Silver City, a much improved Western New Mexico team.
Yes.
Best Western New Mexico team we've seen for 6 years here. Just what do you see about them?
Yeah. My understanding, they have about 40 plus transfers that have come in. They are a lot more athletic than they've been. Their quarterback, Devin Larson, slings it all over the field. I think that they have, they want to throw the ball. Based on the numbers that I've seen, they're throwing it about 65 to 70% of the time. In some games they've thrown a lot more. We got to see a little bit of what the running game can do this past week when they were playing Simon Fraser and ran the ball a little bit more. But they want to put it in the air. I think what they lack on offense is a experienced offensive line. So I think they're not really young there, but they are. This is the first year a lot of them are playing with each other. So by week 8, they should be. I would think that, or week 9, they should be molded together what they can do. So offensively, it's a heck of a challenge because we have had some issues getting to the passer, and I think we're getting better in our pass coverage, but we still got a long way to go to face a team like this. Defensively, they got some athletes. They're very disciplined in what they do. So we're going to have to be on all cylinders on Saturday. And it's not an easy place to go play. It's about an 8-hour, 9-hour bus ride, and we're going to split it up and try to do it right and get our guys off their feet. On their feet from sitting in the bus, and so we'll try to make sure that they're not as tired or divided up, so we can be ready to play. It's going to be a heck of a challenge, and I hear they got a bunch of noisemakers out there, and those Volvos, what are they? The soccer things, huh? Vuvuzelas. They got a bunch of Vuvuzelas there that are going to be, creating some havoc for our offense when they have the ball, and it's just a different setup, which is, for them, you're underneath the scoreboard, so when you wanted to see what time, you got to turn around and look back and see what, how much time's left in the game, and there's nobody behind you, and you don't have benches, you have folding chairs, I hope. If they don't have them, we'll have to bring them, but that's we have our home field advantage and environment, they have theirs, and if they get rolling, it could be a long day for us.